Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. A 6-magnitude earthquake jolts Khotang, sending tremors through Kathmandu and other parts. Damage details awaited. Garbage piles up on the streets of Kathmandu as collection halted again. Disruption comes owing to the ongoing maintenance of the road to Bansari Dada. Zelensky orders civilians still living in parts of eastern Donetsk to leave. Russia claims 140 Ukrainian soldiers killed in missile strike. And Nepal facing defending champion India in its third match under the SAF Men's Under-20 Championship. Match slated to kick off at 7:15 p.m. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. A 6-magnitude earthquake with its epicenter in Martinbitta of Sakhela rural municipality in Khotang rattled the country. According to the National Seismology and Research Center, the earthquake occurred at 8:13 a.m. this morning, and the shocks were felt in Kathmandu and other central and eastern parts of the country. Chief District Officer of Khotang, Surya Prasad Sedai, informed the damage reports are yet to be awaited. CDO Sedai also informed that the District Disaster Management Committee, Nepal Army, Nepal Police and other entities have been asked to remain alert in wake of the powerful earthquake. The garbage collection from the Kathmandu Metropolitan City KMC has been stalled yet again as the maintenance of the road to Bansari Dada from Sistol is ongoing. Disruption of garbage collection has resulted in littered streets emanating the stands. The garbage is amassed in the densely populated areas of the Kathmandu, including Anamnagar, Kalanki, Kalimati and Balkhu. Earlier on July the 20th, the KMC had issued a public notice urging the locals not to bring the garbage out of home for a week, citing the continued road maintenance. Spokesperson of the KMC, Naveen Manandar, said management of the West had become a tough job since running vehicles along the road was not possible due to the delayed completion of the road construction. He said it could take some more days to complete the road repair task, adding that the management of the West from the entire city could be delayed. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. Now to more updates. Ukraine's President Zelensky has ordered all civilians still living in parts of the eastern Donetsk region under the Ukrainian control to evacuate. Speaking during a late-night address from Kiev, Zelensky warned of an intensification of the fighting. The region has seen heavy clashes amid a slow advance by the Russian forces, who already control the large parts of it. Meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Saturday that 140 Ukrainian servicemen of an elite battalion were killed in a missile strike earlier in the week. Spokesperson said that the Ukrainian troops had been on board a military train at a train station which was under the control of Ukraine. Pakistan had deployed army helicopters and allocated food and tents amid emergency rescue and disaster relief after heavy rains triggered severe floods in the country's southwest Balochistan province. Since the rainy season began in June, many parts of the Pakistan have been hit hard by the heavy rains. As of Friday, heavy rains and floods in Balochistan had killed 124 people and damaged about 10,000 houses, 6,700 of which were completely destroyed. A total of 29 districts in Balochistan have been affected by the floods so far. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, time to go for a short break. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have more updates from the international front. Iraq's caretaker Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi called for restraint on Saturday after thousands of followers of an influential cleric stormed into the country's parliament for the second time this week. The group of demonstrators were protesting the government formation efforts led by cleric Muqtafa al-Sadr's rivals, an alliance of Iran-backed groups. Speaking in Baghdad after the breach of parliament, Prime Minister al-Kadhimi encouraged political blocs to sit down and negotiate and reach an understanding for the sake of Iraq and the Iraqis. During the protest, security forces used tear gas and sound bombs to try to repel the demonstrators. Once they were inside, the protesters declared an open-ended sit-in and claimed that they would not disperse until the demands were answered. An expected parliament session did not take place and no lawmakers were inside the hall. By late afternoon, the Minister of Health said about 125 people were injured in the violence, 100 protesters and 25 members of the security forces. Kyrgyz President Sadir Japarov met with Chinese State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi in the Kyrgyz resort town of Cholpon-Ata on Saturday. During the meeting, Japarov asked Wang to convey his sincere regards to Chinese President Xi Jinping, saying that Kyrgyzstan always cherishes the friendship with China and sincerely appreciates China's support and valuable help in safeguarding the Central Asian country's sovereign security, accelerating economic development and improving the people's livelihood. The Kyrgyz president noted his country and China have set an example of good neighborliness and friendship among the neighboring countries, from mutual acquaintance to comprehensive strategic partnership. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have what we have coming up next. Now to sports. On the sports, we begin with football. Nepal is playing against defending champion India in its third match under the SAF Men's Under-20 Championship underway in Bhubaneswar of India. The match is slated to begin at 7:15 p.m. at Kalinga Stadium. The Nepali side is looking for the third consecutive victory, as it must either win or end the match in a draw to advance into the next round. The Nepali side began with an emphatic 4-0 win against the Maldives on Monday, followed by Sri Lanka followed by a 3-win over Sri Lanka in the second match held on Wednesday. A total of 5 teams, including host India, Bangladesh, the Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, are taking part in the championship this year. Australia won 3 events in the swimming pool on Saturday's second day of competition at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. The men's and women's 4x100 meters freestyle relays were once again dominated by the Australians, the former quadruped with a new Commonwealth Games record, while team member Kadza Dedekin set a world record in winning the women's 50 meters freestyle. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. A 6-magnitude earthquake jolts Khotang, sending tremors through Kathmandu and other parts. The damage details are awaited. Garbage piles up on the streets of Kathmandu again as collection halted. Disruption comes owing to ongoing maintenance of road to Bansare Dada. Zelensky orders civilians still living in parts of the eastern Donetsk region to leave. Russia claims 140 Ukrainian soldiers killed in the strike. Nepal facing defending champion in its third match under the SAF Men's Under-20 Championship. Match between Nepal and India slated to kick off at 7:15 p.m. Well, that's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. We shall see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us for the latest news updates and other programs. Namaste.